Hey y'all, it's me, Melon. What am I doing with my fingers? Hey y'all, it's me, Melanie, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, it's going to be the Syracuse Q&A part 2. If you guys haven't seen the first part of the Syracuse Q&A, then I will have it linked in the description box below or on the screen somewhere if I can figure out how to do that. But yeah, so today's video is going to be part 2, and today's video, the questions are more geared toward the party scene. Yes, I said it, y'all, the party scene, which is a little bit of a tricky topic for me to talk about because I wasn't much of a partier at Syracuse. And this video is for all of you non-partiers out there. Well, not non-partiers, but this video is for the people who don't really go out and party that much. Maybe once in a blue moon or, but the party scene isn't really your thing. Then I'm your girl and continue watching. Or if you are a partier and you want to know what it's like on the other side, then continue watching also. Or you can just watch this video. I mean, it's up to you. It's all up to you, girl or boy, because I know guys watch this video too. But without further ado, let's get right into this. On my Syracuse Q&A, the first part, I told you guys that if you had any more questions to leave them in the comment section or put it on the other video. And Katie from I Think It's Katie, I mean, she doesn't have a channel, but her username is I Think It's Katie. You're so very sweet. Yeah, Katie, I see you, girl. But she left a ton of questions for me to answer. She left 6 questions for me to answer, and I didn't read all of them, but from the gist of it, most of them were about going to Syracuse and not being a partier. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. She did have some questions that weren't party related, but the majority of the questions are party related. So I am going to get started with these. The first question she asks is, did you find it hard to focus on those huge lecture classes? My grade alone has 250 people, and that is still really overwhelming. It's okay, girl. I came from a small high school. Well, small. There were a total of 1,000 kids in my entire school, and in each grade had about 200, 250 plus or minus. So I feel you. So for all of you out there who may be coming from small schools and are going to Syracuse, or even not Syracuse, not just Syracuse, but a bigger school, you are going to have huge lecture classes. And honestly, I didn't find it hard to focus at all. That's mainly because, well, actually in some of my classes I did have people to talk to, but for me, I just tried to sit there and tell myself I only have to sit here for an hour. Some of my classes were an hour 25 minutes, but most of my classes I only had to sit there for an hour. So if you just sit down and tell yourself it's only an hour. Oh, also another thing I have to tell you with being in a huge lecture class, or any class for that matter, please do not sit near the clock. Or if you do sit near the clock, don't look at the clock. Put your phone away. Don't look at your phone. You will be tempted to look at the time or answer text messages. And in college, some professors don't care if you have your phone out. But for me personally, if I wanted to focus, that phone had to be away and I could not look at the clock. Also, a huge tip of mine to focus in a big lecture class, sit in the front of the class. I know a lot of people don't like sitting in the front, but let me tell you, ever since I started college, I have sat in the first or the second row in every single class. And it has honestly helped me so much because when you sit in the front, there's like not a lot of people in front of you to you know how we get distracted. You see someone doing something in front of you and you kind of just your eyes wander. You just kind of stare at them, drown out the professor or the teacher. And there you go, your focus is lost. So that's something that I would have to say. If you don't like sitting in the front, then I don't really know what to tell you. But I promise you, if you sit in the front of the classroom, you're more likely to pay attention. And I remember one of my teachers in high school, I think, they said The kids who sit in the front are the ones most likely to get A's and B's in the classes. And I found that to be true. Not to brag, but I've gotten a 4.0 2 semesters in a row. And the semester before that, I had a 3.5. So sitting in the front can really be beneficial. Also, it kind of lets the professor know that you're there, because I know a lot of my professors, like, because I sat in the front row, we could make eye contact, not like in a creepy way, but making eye contact as in like, I'm listening to you, I hear what you're saying, I'm paying attention, and they can see that you come to class. And I feel like that really helped me out, because I remember my math professor, let me tell y'all, in my math class at Syracuse, both of my math classes at Syracuse, I sat in the front of the class, and I always like looked at the teacher, nodded my head so he knew that I understood what was going on. And at the end, when I was taking my final exam, he was like, how was it? And I was like, good. And he was like, yeah, I know, you're like, I see you paying attention, like stuff like that. That really helps you out, because professors like to see that students are paying attention, because they could just give you the textbook and say, read it, teach yourself. So that's another thing, like, just make sure you respect the professors and just be there, and focusing in a large classroom won't be that hard. So yeah. Sorry guys, I feel like that was a very long answer to that question, but I just want to make sure you guys know. I want to help y'all out, help y'all get the grades, and you know, be comfortable. The second question she asked is, what can you tell me about the Undecided CAS, College of Arts and Sciences class, well, track, like blah blah blah, like what classes do you take and how does being undecided all work? Okay, so I wasn't undecided when I went to Syracuse. I'm still not undecided, but I did have a few friends who were undecided, and from what I understand, I believe, if I'm wrong, then I will put a little blurb saying I'm wrong, and then I will let you guys know later in a video or something the correct answer. But for undecided majors, basically your job is to take all of the core requirements in the CAS track, like College of Arts and Sciences. There's a bunch of classes that you have to take as like your general ed classes. Like, you get to choose which type of class you want to take, like as far as English, like what type of English class do you want to take. But there are a certain amount of general education classes that you have to take, and basically when you're undecided, your job is to just take those classes and to take different ones to fill out what you think, like what you're really liking and loving, and which classes do you really enjoy, and that should help you figure out what you want your major to be. And I know by sophomore year you have to choose a major, so you have 4 semesters to take a bunch of different classes and figure out what you want to take. But for the most part, the classes are going to be general ed, but at Syracuse there were a lot of different types of classes, so it wasn't like a regular English class or a regular science class. I mean, yes, you do have to take classes like that, but not all of them are like that. So that should help you in deciding what you want your major to be and how the undecided major track all works. The third question she asked is, would you say there are more partiers than people who are not? I'm not a partier, and I'm kind of scared because Cuse is a huge party school. Girl, let me tell you, I feel you. Alright, guys, if you didn't know this, I started Syracuse in the year 2014. And I don't know if you guys know, it was all over the news, but maybe some people didn't pay attention to that. But it was all over the entire news, all over the internet. There is a list or survey or whatever that comes out every year of the top party schools in America. Lo and behold, the year I get to Syracuse, it is named
the #1 party school in America.
my gosh, to some people that is great. Y'all are like, let's party it up, let's go. For me, I was kind of on the fence. Part of me was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be going to parties, I'm gonna be, you know, living it up, turn up, let's get lit. The other part of me was like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? I've never been to a party before. Got to Syracuse, ended up in the dorm on frat row. Not only was I on frat row, but there next to frat row there was a line of off-campus housing where where most of the house parties were. So I was surrounded by partying 24/7. Y'all think that I would be a huge partier based on that information, especially because the people in my dorm, they like to party non-stop. Let me get back to the question. I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry. Would I say there's more partiers? Girl, I mean, I was only there for a year, but living where I lived, from what I understand and from what I saw, there are definitely more partiers than people who don't party at that school. I mean, it was named the #1 party school for a reason. You feel me? Yeah. Her second question, well, not her second question, but just saying she's not a partier and she's kind of scared because it's such a big party school. Girl, I was so scared. Like, after the first couple weeks, I was like, okay, everyone's partying because, you know, college is new to them. And then after a while, it kind of got old because I was just like, I don't understand how people can go out and party every night. Alright, they didn't party every night, but there is Thursdays is basically when partying starts in college. It's Thursday night. Then you got Friday, Saturday, and yeah, so a lot of the partying happened Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If there was no school the next day, like let's say it was Sunday and there was no school on Monday, you're gonna find some parties on Sunday. And it kind of was intimidating to me because, here's a little sob story. There was a time when everyone's partying, and my roommate and I, well, the first roommate I had, we would stay in our dorm, chilling on our laptop, talking on the phone to people back home. And I remember every time I would come out of my room, like, because almost everyone in my hallway partied, every time I would come out of my room, and even for my roommate, every time we would leave our room, they would just stare at us. Like, they had never seen people who didn't party before. And that is something that was so freaking annoying. Like what the f are you staring at? Like, is it that hard to believe that people don't party? That is something that I need to control it, pull it back in. So yeah, that really got annoying because, and they like to play jokes on us. Like, they would knock on our door, then run away like some little. Excuse, how old are we? You're playing ding dong ditch. Do I look like I'm the one? I'm not the one. My roommate and I, we were not having it. And the fact that they bothered us, that really pissed me off because we didn't do anything to them. Like, literally. Ooh, I'm sorry guys, this is turning into something. This has nothing to do with question. I mean, it does kind of have something to do with the question, but bring it back in. Let's move on to the next question. If you guys want to hear more about that, I can do a college diaries video on that because I got a lot to say about that. But I'm going to move on to the next question. Fourth question, she asks, how is the drinking scene? A lot of Syracuse vids where kids are just drinking in public and no one cares. I don't drink. It's illegal, right? LOL. Yeah, girl, it's illegal. Especially if it's illegal if you're under 21. So it also kind of scares me. Does Syracuse ban alcohol? Because it doesn't seem like they enforce that rule a lot. I wish I had a cup of tea, sipping my tea. There's a lot of alcohol. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of alcohol.
Not only there's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot of weed. Not only is there a lot of weed, there's a lot of drugs. I mean, drugs, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Oops.
But there's a lot of, you know, drinking, weed, drugs in college, and I'm not gonna say they didn't enforce the rule a lot. There are room checks, and you know that's when the RA comes into your room and checks the room to make sure you don't have anything that's prohibited. And I know people got in trouble if they had alcohol in their room and they're underage, but I don't know, man. Like, it seemed like, okay, actually in the beginning of the school year, you know, when the list came out of Syracuse being the #1 party school, there were a lot of parties that got shut down because they were cracking down on the parties. Because, I mean, if you're the head of a school, you don't really want to have that reputation of being a party school. It's not really a good reputation. So they did, like, they do shut down parties if it gets too rowdy or something. But the drinking scene, because me personally, I didn't drink and party. I wasn't really around it a lot, but I was kind of around it a lot because of where I lived. I couldn't escape it. Like, literally, if I didn't want to be around the drinking and partying and just all of that and drugs and stuff, I would have to go to the library, because where I lived, it was just all around me. I couldn't escape it, which really sucked. But I do have a video about partying and a friendship and stuff like that. I will have it linked down below. It's my college diaries number 2, I think. I don't know. It's a college diaries video, and I'll have it linked down below. And I kind of explained my first party experience. It wasn't really a party experience because I didn't actually get to go to a party, but I just explain it all in the video, and I talk about how the scene is if you really want to know. So I'll have it linked in the description box. And I can also do another video on parties if you guys want me to. Yeah, I can do that for you guys, so let me know. The 5th question she asked, did you ever see a game in the Carrier Dome? How was your experience? The Carrier Dome. That is something, that is a huge landmark for Syracuse. It is the largest dome? Yeah, largest dome in the country, I believe. So it's pretty big. People from out of town, the whole city of Syracuse, all of Syracuse University attends the Carrier Dome, especially for the first football game. So I did attend a game in the Carrier Dome. It was the first Friday of the semester. Yeah, it was the first Friday of the first semester. It was the first football game, and it was free. And that's the reason why I never went back to another game, is because tickets cost, like, for a package, tickets were $200, $300. So, you know, I already could barely afford to go to that school. So, you know, game tickets, I'm just going to hold back on that. But I did attend a football game, and let me tell you, whew, so the line was hella long. I stood in line for an hour to get inside the game. If that tells you anything, that tells you how hyped and how many people are in the Carrier Dome. When I went to the game, like when I finally got inside, I actually loved it. Well, let me tell you my experience about that. I had a lot of fun just being surrounded by so many people cheering on the same team. So that's really good, and there are so many people. It's called the Loud House for a reason. Like, it gets very loud in there, and there's a lot of energy going on. But also, I was sitting in the very top, in the back, because there were no more seats, and people around me were drinking, so that was awesome. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with drinking if you drink, but like if you're spilling your drinks and stuff and you are drunk and slurring your words, and you know, but like, this is a game, I need you to take it down notches, okay? So, but other than that, it was a nice atmosphere. Like, everyone's like, yeah, go Cuse or Orange. I forgot the chant because I'm not there anymore. But yeah, the only thing that I really don't like it got very hot in there, like hot, because there are these huge stadium lights and it's a dome, so there's no air ventilation. Oh my gosh, guys, I was sweating. Not only was I there for a football game, I was also there for convocation. I don't know if that's what it's called, but all of the freshmen, class of 2018, we were in the Carrier Dome for like the beginning of the year, where we sang the Syracuse song. No, not sang it. We stated the, I can't remember what it's called, the mission statement of a school, something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but we read that together, and the president welcomed us, and alumni came and talked about how good it is to be at Syracuse and blah blah blah. And that was pretty nice because, I don't know, being in the Carrier Dome, I kind of feel like you feel a little bit entitled because the Carrier Dome is known worldwide. Is it known worldwide? I know it's known around the country at least. And it's just like, wow, so many great moments have happened in this dome, and I'm just sitting here chilling like, look at me, I'm doing big things, y'all. All right, and sorry guys, another time I was in the Carrier Dome was the basketball preseason thing. Is where they introduce the players and they play a little round of basketball. They get alumni, and that was really cool too. So if you go to Syracuse, go to the Carrier Dome at least once, because it is an experience. Even if you're not a sports person, well, one, you're gonna have to go for the convocation. It's not called a convocation, I can't think of the name, but you're gonna have to go in the beginning of the year with your class and go to the free football game. Just do it. Even if you don't like football, just go, just to experience what it's like to be there. And the final question she asked is, and also, what was your favorite activity to do in Syracuse? And she said this could be on campus or off campus. My favorite activity was shopping. I love hauls. When I was at Syracuse, I spent beaucoup money. I went to the mall basically every single weekend, or if not every single, and every other weekend I went there, because in Syracuse there's Destiny Mall, and Destiny Mall is the 3rd largest mall in the country. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff to do inside of the mall, but I mainly shopped. Another thing that I like to do was go to the movies, which was also in the mall. I loved being in the actual city of Syracuse. I did do a volunteer thing where I volunteered at the American Heart Association. They had a 5K and I volunteered there, and I really liked being outside of the school. I just really liked being outside of the school more because I like the community of Syracuse. Like Syracuse, like the outskirts really isn't like the best neighborhood, but all of the people outside of the school are really nice and genuine, and I just liked being in the city, just, you know, seeing what life is like outside of the school on the hill, which is what Syracuse is known for. So like the people who live in Syracuse, it's known as the school on the hill. So I just feel like I was more humbled when I was not in the school. Not that I'm a cocky person, I'm pretty humble, but I really enjoy doing that. Oh, also, guys, I gotta tell you about this. There's this thing called Orange After Dark, and it's basically something that happens on Friday or Saturday. You have to sign up for it and pay, but it's usually only like $3, $5 maybe. And there's a bunch of you get on a bus and they go to take you to an activity. They had a ropes course that they took you to, movie premieres, stuff like that. And one of the things that I went to was Fright Night at the Fair, so that was pretty fun. So if you're not into partying, that's something else I can recommend you to do, is to do Orange After Dark, and I'll have a link to their website in the description box so you can get a feel for what they do. And also they played free movies at school on Friday and Saturday night, so that was pretty nice. And yeah, so definitely those are my favorite things to do, just like, you know, the usual mall movies. But also I really did enjoy volunteering, and I hope to do that when I go to Virginia. So yeah, so that is going to be it for this Q&A. I apologize if it was super long, but I just had to let y'all know, all you non-parties out there, we gotta stick together, you know, we gotta stick together, help each other out. And I just wanted to give you guys as much information as possible. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to see more videos from me and you aren't subscribed already, then click that subscribe button to get notified when I upload new videos. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Like any certain college diaries videos you guys want me to do, let me know, or anything else like that. But I'm a little sad to let you guys know. Well, not sad, but it's bittersweet. This is most likely going to be it probably is going to be the last Syracuse related video that I'm going to do for a very long time, because after this week, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to try to upload this week. Next week, I'm going to be leaving and moving into my new school, Virginia. So I feel kind of weird, like if I'm at Virginia and I'm still talking about Syracuse. Not that I don't mind talking about Syracuse, but I kind of just want to take a break from Syracuse and really focus on my new school and enjoy it and, you know, learn more about it, because I'm gonna basically feel like a freshman all over again, because I'm not gonna know anyone. It's a new school, new environment, and I just wanna, you know, get to know it more. So yeah, but I'm still going to do college videos. So if there's a certain topic you want me to talk about, let me know and I will do that for you guys. And for everyone who has joined me on my journey through Syracuse, I just want to say thank you. It has been quite the roller coaster, but I appreciate you all being there for me, and I hope that I've been able to help some of you out who want to go to Syracuse or who are going to Syracuse. It's been a fun ride. Well, it hasn't really been fun for me, but it has been interesting. And yeah, so I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see y'all later. Bye.